So, some people may have noticed, the last episode ended on a really weird place.
Yeah.
And also, the audio for Mage and Humbug is suddenly a lot better. Lesson to all you out there planning on making any kind of, like, Let's Plays or whatnot. Don't record during a thunderstorm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably a good idea. So you're showing off how they're crying and stuff.
Yeah. This is the big hint that these are actually pretty ladies.
Yeah.
Because they're crying.
I mean, they're pretty ladies as they are.
Hello
Yeah.
again. What a chance meeting this is. Alas, I'm in
Hi,
prison
Big Hat.
once again. I don't suppose you could stage me a getaway. The archives. Such a storehouse of knowledge, so close.
He's so casual about being imprisoned by
Snickman.
Snickman.
Me,
Yeah.
so I could simply die. As a student of the arts, you understand me? Yeah?
Do we understand him? Nah, it doesn't matter.
Nope.
Hello again. As a
So, if you're actually playing through the game in oh, and by the way, you can kill those non-hostile ones to get a really powerful miracle.
Oh, okay.
Since I'm not a miracle caster, I don't give a shit, so I'm just leaving them be.
Right.
But they're like the crying bloated hollow in the Painted World, where he has a really powerful pyromancy on him, but the only way to get it is to kill him, and he's non-hostile.
Right. Although with those, it would almost be a mercy to kill them.
You could very easily say it's a mercy to kill either of them.
Oh, okay.
Because the bloated hollow are the ones that are full of, like, the fleshy goo. And they don't look like they're comfortable.
They're hollows, though, right? Well, yeah, I guess we did go through that, didn't we?
Yeah, there is some weird degree of autonomy, and it's really unclear exactly how a hollow thinks.
Yeah.
Because if you go down to the New Londo ruins, it really looks like a lot of the hollows are mourning. And they're distressed. And it's really hard to tell if it's hollows will repeat the last thing they're doing, and right before they went hollow, these people were really distressed and mourning. Or if hollows do have some degree of autonomy and sapience.
Right.
It's super unclear. Like, are they mindless, or did they go insane under the situation they're in?
Yeah, so you could make a case that the bloated hollows, or hollow, should be murdered, or could be murdered as an act of mercy.
Yeah.
But those ones, those pretty ladies, it seems like undeniable.
Oh yeah, no, they are not happy campers.
Yeah.
The other thing in the case for hollows have feelings is there are multiple references to family before souls. And before souls, everyone was a hollow.
Okay.
Everyone was a furtive pygmy, essentially.
Right.
And, like, having any recognition of familial units and all that, if they're just mindless beasts, doesn't really jive. So there's some hints that might be the case. Oh, and did I remember to do it? Yes, I did! The door!
Yay, the door! The greatest of
door.
lore significance.
This game is perfect. No
Yes.
flaws.
No flaws at all. The door was clearly meant to be there, and we need to look into it.
So, though the biggest, like, evidence of family in Hollows was, talking about, why am I forgetting his name? Essentially, there's, a character in the lore who claims to be Lord Gwyn's uncle.
Okay.
And the part that made everyone fucking confused is like, Lord Gwyn was one of the Lord Souls. He was one of the first. He was the progenitor.
Yeah.
It's like saying the Judeo-Christian God has an uncle.
Right.
Like, where the fuck did that guy come from?
Yeah.
What the fuck was going on before all this? Dark Souls 3 addressed this. And it was basically like, yeah, so this guy was a god, but he was just some random jackass god who went around telling people he was Gwen's uncle after Gwen had disappeared.
Oh.
So it's implied that, yeah, he was fucking lying.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That seems to be the Occam's razor answer, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't overcomplicate it. The guy's just a fucking liar.
And considering he positioned himself as the head of the church after Gwen was gone,
Oh, yeah.
like, it makes all the sense in the world that this fucker was just some jackass.
Yeah, motivations are clear.
So yeah, that was actually one of the few bits of lore fixed by Dark Souls 3. Most of the time, the sequels just dilute and complicate the lore, but this is like, no. This works.
Yeah, let's clarify this.
Of course, that also adds into the fun of, now you can't trust the item descriptions. So now everything is up to question. Everything's up for grabs.
Yep.
What the fuck is real? And in a way, it treats it like history.
Yeah.
Where a lot of people seem to think that history is what happened. And no, history is what everyone agrees probably happened.
Yeah.
Because unless... I was about to say unless you were there, but even if you're there, you're not getting the whole picture.
Right, you only have that one perspective.
So there are certain things you can know relatively for certain. But the rest of it is like, alright, who do we trust?
Yeah. Remember when the Muslim community in New York celebrated 9/11? It had to have happened, right?
I mean, somebody on television said it happened,
Yeah.
therefore it must have happened.
Exactly. Yep.
Don't trust everything you read. Don't trust everything you hear. Even trusted sources can be wrong.
Yep.
This isn't an indictment on any individual sorts. Just people can be wrong because they are people.
Yeah. Also, that's a lot of books.
Seath is a prolific reader.
Yeah.
And it has been 1,000 years.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got to have something to keep him occupied.
Yep. So...
This leveling doesn't matter to our playthrough.
No, not at all. I did not go and really cut through all this footage. I cut through some big chunks of doesn't matter.
Yeah.
This was also a playthrough where I kept switching weapons because I wanted to vary it up.
Oh, that makes sense. I mean, you were trying to show off a whole bunch of stuff, right?
Yeah, I had a lot of different stuff, and a lot of it was just like I had just finished another playthrough, so I was kind of bored of just doing it Claymore all day, every day.
Yeah, yeah.
And I also was upgrading my armor a lot more.
Oh, is that why you keep dying in our file?
No. Upgrading your armor gives you like minor bonuses.
Oh.
But like any of those times where I just get fucking shreked, and it's just like, hey, here's like a quarter of your health bar, now you're dead.
It's because you got no health.
Yeah, or I got wombo comboed.
Yeah.
A lot of those was positioning. It's those times where it's like, I just barely died. That's where the armor would have.
Okay.
And there really wasn't a lot of those.
I am so tickled that Wombo Combo has entered the general lexicon and isn't just a Smash thing.
It's a fun thing to say.
It is.
And even if you've never heard context for it before, you know
exactly
immediately what it is.
Yeah.
It means you got fucking bodied hard.
Yeah. That whole clip has like 3 different things that are just used constantly in the general populace. Well, one of them is questionable. That Ain't Falco is used all the time, but it's often used in the general populace. But then you have the Wombo Combo and Happy Feet, which, I mean, those go together. But then you also have that screaming, that oh kind of thing going on that, you get that whenever somebody makes a sick burn.
Yeah. What the fuck was I doing?
I don't know, but it doesn't fucking matter. All of this is irrelevant.
When you get down to it, everything is.
Yeah, that's true. Nothing matters.
Haha, existentialism.
Nihilism.
Yeah! There's a lot of different equipment in this game.
Yeah, no shit.
There's a lot you can do. And to all the people who prefer 2 and 3 over Dark Souls 1, 100% get the whole... Where the fuck is the audio?
I don't know.
Okay. So this really is the cursed playthrough.
Yeah, like we said Breath of Fire 2 was the cursed playthrough. that at least got completed and is cohesive. This has serious issues.
What the? All right. So we're reacting to audio because audio on our end just mysteriously cut out. By the time you guys hear this, the audio will be back.
Yeah.
But like, no, for real. We have now. This is what, attempt 4 at recording this segment?
I think so.
Yeah. So we recorded it. I fucked up. We sat down to record it again, and the audio was screwed up a little earlier. And then we sat down to record again. Everything was working fine, and then a fucking thunderstorm rolled in.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so holy shit, Seath's Archives is the level that refuses to be Let's Played for our channel.
Seath does not like us.
I think he heard all the shit I was talking about dragons.
You're probably right, but doesn't he hate dragons too?
He does, but he is also a dragon, and I think he might be offended that we keep calling him the Gabgo Glabgalad.
I am the Glubgo Gabgalab. I'm the Schwabble Double Wobble Double Schwibble Dob Schwab.
What's funny is there's like 3 bosses in Dark Souls that could be described as the Gabgo Glabgalad.
Yeah. Either
Like-
by looks or conceit.
Yeah. Like, Seath is definitely by conceit. Like, yeast of thoughts and minds, loving books.
Yeah. Well, he also is kind of fleshy and a little blobby.
Yeah, a little blobby. The one that's really blobby is the Covetous Demon in Dark Souls 2, which, holy shit, is the most overthought boss fight in that entire game.
Okay.
He is one of the easiest bosses. Like, there is very little challenge to him. He's this giant slug monster.
Right.
Who does relatively high damage, but is really slow and has these giant windups. Players should have no problem with the Covetous Demon. Mm-hmm. Yet in his boss arena, there is environmental stuff you can use against him to distract him, even though he has these giant windups and is open about 90% of the time.
Okay, that's really strange.
Yeah, like, there are these pots hanging from the ceiling that you can knock down with magic or arrows that drop these corpses that he'll go over and eat and leaves himself wide open to be attacked.
What the hell?
For no reason. He's giant. You can flank him easily. And yeah, he does have this rollover that he can do on you and just be this fat ass.
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, it has such a windup, you shouldn't be hit by it anyway. Especially since he's relatively deep into one of the zones.
Uh-huh.
So it isn't even like, oh, he's new. I mean, you might be a new player when you hit him.
Right.
No, he's like a boss or 2 into that particular area. So conceivably, by the time you hit him, you should know what you're doing by then.
Mm-hmm. Huh.
And it's the Huntsman's Cop, so you can't even get... It's not one of those zones that are immediately open. Yeah, you need to go deal with other bosses before you fight him, so... You
should get the
distract him.
idea. You should get the feel of what a Souls game feels like by that point.
Yeah. So it's just fucking weird and overthought, and like, this isn't a boss we need distractions for.
Yeah.
Now, if it was something like Smelter Demon, hell fucking yeah, we need distractions for Smelter Demon.
Yeah.
Smelter Demon is no fucking joke. Or even like Old Iron King, something to get his attention off of you, just because you're on that really small platform when you're fighting him. Mm-hmm. But Covetous Demon, you're in this giant fucking empty room with this slow slug monster. Like, he's such a joke that in the DLC they make him a mini-boss.
Oh, jeez.
Like, just a non-respawning enemy that just shows up.
Uh-huh.
It's like, the fuck?
That's actually something that I kind of wish the Souls games would do more, is environmental shit. Because, like, most of the bosses are just... You strafe around and you try to hit them when there's an opening, and that's it.
Yeah.
That is the extent of the tactics in Souls.
Yeah, most of the time you're just playing grab ass with the monster.
Yeah, yeah. Which is kind of vaguely boring, but, like, they start off Demon Souls strong, don't they? Like, there's a... You can drop down and hit the demon, the first boss. Like, can't you do that?
There are no dropping attacks in Demon's Souls.
Oh, okay.
The first is the supposed to lose fight.
Right.
And then the first you're supposed to win boss fight is the Phalanx, which is,
Isn't there some sort of environmental thing with it, though?
not Phalanx, no.
Huh. Maybe I am thinking Dark Souls 1. I know the Grumps played one of these and did a dropping attack and still lost, of course, because Grumps.
Well, you can dropping attack the Stray Demon, the first demon in this game.
Yeah.
And you're actually kind of supposed to, because it takes off like half its fucking health meter.
Right, maybe that was why. But either way, like, it's a good precedent to set to have that sort of environmental weird stuff in boss arenas when bosses are just ridiculously hard. Because you can try to tough it out and do the hard way, or you could be clever.
Yeah.
And I think that makes sense for this character who's in way over his fucking head. Like, he could either be just really skilled, or he could be really clever and solve his problems that way.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. In Demon's Souls, there isn't really a lot that does that. There's the Adjudicator, which its gimmick is its body isn't its body. It's this crow that's sitting on top of it. Mm-hmm. And you need to hit the crow, and there's two ways you can go about it. You can sit on the roof and like plink down into its boss arena with either spells or... Yeah, by the way, you can't get up to those top 2 floors. It's like 5 stories or 6, but the top 2 are completely inaccessible. They're just window dressing.
Oh, okay.
Like, people have no-clipped up there, and there's nothing. It's just there.
Okay. But anyway, the crow.
You can sit on the top of the platform when you enter and plink it with arrows, or you can get down and it's kind of a puzzle. There's a part of the body you can hit to make it collapse onto the ground.
Oh, yeah.
And then you can smack the crow in the face.
That makes sense.
The Tower Knight's kind of the same. The Ancient Hero has a gimmick in that he's blind and he goes by hearing.
Oh.
So if you're decked out in heavy armor, he's always going to know where you are. But if you're a sneaky bitch and we're like light armor or no armor, you can sneak around and just keep doing these hit and runs on him.
See, I like that. It varies things up a little bit.
The Storm Ruler is kind of quintessentially Demon Souls, where it's fucking awesome if you know what you're doing, but the lamest fight in the world if you don't.
Right.
The Storm Ruler is this giant flying stingray, essentially.
Uh-huh.
And you can just plink him to death with arrows.
Yeah.
And in fact, if you're a strength build, bringing the lava bow is a completely viable way of killing him. But there's a sword in his arena called the Storm Ruler Sword that has these giant fucking wind scar slashes that only work in this area. So you immediately run in, grab the Storm Ruler, pick it up, equip it, and just fucking slice the air to kill this thing. And it's the coolest thing visually.
Yeah.
But if you don't know to use the Storm Ruler, it's this lame... Essentially, you're playing a third-person shooter with chest-high walls.
Uh-huh.
And just hiding behind cover as he passes and then plinking him with counterfire.
Oh, jeez.
And it's fucking lame.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as gimmicks go, I think that... Oh, and the Living Saint, which is... She isn't the boss, her bodyguard is. And you can either go fight him, and if you beat him, you go up and talk to her, and she's like, well, I'm fucked, here's my soul. There it is, block. And just gives it to you.
Right.
Or you can sneak around him and fucking, like, ploink her to death.
Uh-huh.
In which case he dies of a broken heart.
Okay.
But no, there isn't a lot of gimmick in Demon's Souls. A lot of it is just like, no, do it.
Okay.
Dark Souls 1 doesn't have a lot of gimmicks. Dark Souls 2, I don't think it has any gimmicks. I think it's all just straight up fights.
Wow.
I'm just going through the list in my head. Like, Mirror Knight kind of has a gimmick in New Game Plus, where...
kind of has a gimmick in New Game Plus. That is quite the statement.
Oh, God. So, you know how in all of the Dark Souls games, there's the blue Phantom Covenants, where it's like, hey, it's a 2-part covenant. You have the bitches and the doms.
Okay.
And the bitches are the new players, or the players that don't want to do PvP.
Right.
And it's like, put on the bitch ring. If you're wearing the bitch ring, and... somebody invades you, you get to call in Daddy to save you.
Uh-huh.
And that's where the Blue Phantom comes in. And the Blue Phantom jumps in as a friendly co-op that auto-summons when you get invaded.
Okay.
This boss in New Game Plus wears the bitch ring.
Oh.
And he can summon in player allies to help protect his ass.
Oh, but that's not a thing anymore.
Dark Souls 2, it's still.
Oh, wait, yeah. Sorry, I was thinking Demon Souls.
Demon Souls, there is a boss like that, where the boss is literally a player gets summoned.
Yeah,
but that's no longer a thing, because that's dead.
Yeah.
Dark Souls 3, one of the bosses, an entire covenant is dedicated to that, where it's like, you are the PvP support for this boss.
Okay.
To the point where it's literally a repeat of the Demon Souls thing, where the boss that's listed isn't what you're fighting. Instead, the boss summons in an actual player, and you're fighting the player as the boss.
Okay.
And if no one's available at the time or you're playing offline, it has an NPC it summons in.
Right.
That's one of the gimmicks in Dark Souls 3. There's a dragon fight that you can either fight legit or as a gimmick.
Okay.
Essentially, this dragon attacks you at the start of the zone, and you can basically run halfway through the zone with this dragon just harassing you.
Right.
And it's actually this really cool environmental thing, where as you're running through, like it's this ancient Greek-style temple, where it has all of these, like, arches and open courtyards and all this shit. And as you're running through, the dragon will reposition itself to harass you. Like, at some point, it will, like, fire a breath weapon sweeping through this long hallway, and you have to fucking book it. And other parts, it's like, you just have to run through its legs and evade and all this other shit. And all the while, you have fucking snake men harassing you. If you get to the very top of the zone, you can drop down and basically, like, pin its head to the fucking floor with a drop attack that one-shots it.
Okay. Yeah, see, that's what I like, is the ability to fight straight up or to gimmick things.
Yeah.
And not just plinking shit with arrows, although that's fun enough in some cases, but like having an alternative route to beating a boss.
Yeah, those are always really cool. I just remember one of the gimmick fights in Demon Souls, and it's a gimmick in the opposite direction. The boss is literally unkillable unless you deal with its gimmick.
Oh, okay.
And its gimmick is there's a dude sitting on a balcony that's inaccessible from the boss arena who will just infinitely revive the boss unless you kill him.
Right.
So you need to go kill him before doing anything else.
So it's kind of like the Seath fight in this game. Except the Seath fight is way the fuck easier to do the gimmick.
Yeah, it's like, imagine the Seath fight, the legit Seath fight at the end of this zone, but instead of, it's just sitting right there in the corner, go break it, it's, yeah, by the way, did you take this alternate route to get into this room so you can kill this dude before coming in here? No? Uh-oh.
Too bad.
Oh, look, you beat the boss. What's happening to its health meter? It revived.
And it just keeps doing that regardless?
Yep.
Wow.
And there is no way to kill him from within the room.
Is there a way to get out of the room?
Nope.
That's bullshit.
Welcome to Demon Souls.
Yeah.
A game that is... Yeah, you can pretty safely say the tagline for Demon Soul is bullshit unless you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So what's cool about these yellow crystals, if you look really carefully, you can see the lady inside.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's hard because by the time you're close enough to actually get a good look at it, it's pissy with you. But yeah, you can see Sigmund in there.
Okay.
And you could see Dusk in the other one. But yeah. So there's only 2 of these in the game, and they both have pretty ladies in them. And what's implied is all of the golems are sent out by Seath to find pretty ladies. And they can put the pretty ladies in the thing, because Seath watches too much anime.
Yeah.
And he's into some creepy stuff. I mean, he's got tentacles, so, like, you kind of by default are into creepy stuff. But yeah, he's into some really, really creepy stuff.
Yeah, and he seems not to discriminate too much. He clearly has a preference for ladies. But, like, he picked you up, and he picked up Big Hat.
Well, see, with Big Hat and me, we're kind of dumped in these cells, and it's like, all right, sit, whatever.
Yeah, right. Weren't you awaiting something, though?
Maybe?
I mean, you obviously will never find out because they didn't program it in, but, like, maybe he was just holding you until he had something to do with you.
Maybe. I mean, at least Big Hat has the whole, like, he's a super sorcerer going on.
Right.
Me, I'm just some fuckwit who came to stab him in the ghoulies.
Yeah.
Like, step 1, find his ghoulies. Step 2, stab them.
Yeah. So here's Sigmire. Well, it was gonna be a joke, but then you didn't talk to her.
Yeah, past me is kind of a dick.
Oh, you can kind of see her face. Okay.
She has a really cute voice.
Yeah.
It wasn't terrible. It's such a weird line about being trapped in crystal. It wasn't terrible.
Uh-huh. And to be in that armor trapped in crystal is kind of strange.
I mean, it's big and poofy, so it's actually probably kind of roomy. Mm-hmm. Like, it keeps the armor from moving, but she could probably, like, pull her arms into the armor and just have a little tea party in there.
That's true.
So she is looking for her dad.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, yeah, he keeps getting himself into trouble. What I always find funny is she asks, have you seen him? And you say yes, and she's like, oh, good, and then wanders off.
Uh-huh. Doesn't even ask where.
Like, oh, he's around here somewhere. That's cool.
I guess she was just looking for confirmation that he was alive.
Probably confirmation that he was alive and in the area.
Right.
Because, like, this whole area is like a moderately sized city.
That's true.
And it's super depopulated too, so just knowing he's around means like, oh, I could probably spend an afternoon, maybe 2, and I'll run into him.
That actually sounds about right. It doesn't take too long for him to get from fucking Anne Orlando to, Blighttown.
Yeah. And on top of that, like, since everything is to scale in this game, like, asking where he is kind of pointless, because, like, oh, by the time I go there, he's probably wandered off somewhere else.
Yeah.
So it's not really...
Yeah.
Like, he's here.
You figure it out.
Yep. So that was a divine blessing I just chugged.
Yeah, I noticed.
Divine blessings are fucking weird. They're these fully healed... They're basically elixirs from Final Fantasy.
Okay.
But they're limited, and they go down slower than
an Estus flask.
Estus.
Okay.
And since they're non-replenishable, a lot of people just don't end up using them.
Yeah.
Because 20 Estus can really get you done. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're all right in a pinch, like the situation I'm in where I'm going back to Big Hat and out of Estus.
Yeah.
But still, it's like... It feels a fucking weird niche that Dark Souls 1 really didn't have use for.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, cute little Sigland, off to find her dad.
Oh. And we're gonna conclude the dad thing next time you actually play.
Yep. So she fucks off to Firelink.
Uh-huh.
What's funny about the Sigs is they're from Catalina, which in the opening character customization, it's called Jubilant Catalina.
Okay.
And it's like, that's the blackface place. That's like the really racist looking face.
Oh.
So everyone, when they first saw the Sigs and they're like from Catalina, it's like, oh cool, we have this like cool jolly black guy hang out with us.
Uh-huh.
And then you look at it and it's like, no, he's like Spanish at best.
Yeah.
Like he's got a little mustache, but no, he's white. Everyone's white. Especially the guy from fucking crap, begins with a V. Fuck it, the Velka guy.
Okay.
Who is like goddamn translucent white. Like he is practically an albino.
Yeah. You can see his skull behind his skin.
Yeah. Like pale skin, white hair. God, he could not be whiter.
You could see his intestines.
He's like one of those glass frogs.
Yeah.
That's why he wears such heavy robes. It's gross otherwise. Like, a lot of people want X-ray vision, and they don't fully think about what that implies.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to see a lot of gross stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know some people are into poop, but I don't think they want to see how poop is made.
Yeah.
Like, the transition.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird.
It would be interesting.
It would be more fascinating than anything else.
Yeah. But then, like, you see it once, and you're done. That's all you need.
I feel like there'd be a weird, like, bell curve on it, where... When you first see it, it's kind of horrifying. And then you're kind of curious. And then you're kind of interested in seeing where this is going. And then you see it, and then you start to get used to it. And then it's just kind of there.
Uh-huh.
It's like how in Discworld the librarian's an orangutan. It's really interesting to people who first see it, but eventually everyone's just like, yeah, that's a librarian.
Yeah. Yeah, we recognize this man.
I feel like to writers, that's the best way to imply something is normal. Introduce something fucking weird and then have no one really react to it.
Yeah.
Like, I can't remember if it was an article or a full book called Gravity is Green that basically explains how to world build in science fiction and fantasy. And one of the best things is introduce something is X. Have no one react to it. Just state this is this, and everyone's just like, yes, this is normal.